So today is the lecture before the final. Just to remind you guys, your projects are due Thursday. Yes.
Is it like a final test?
Huh?
Is it like a final test?
No.
Or is it like the project?
That's just the project.
Alright.
So have your stuff ready on Thursday.
Got it.
So Jessica will be here on Thursday and she's going to give the lecture. And I'm going to be amongst you guys, the audience here. And so hope we, did a good job with this course. So let's just finish today's lecture. Actually, I have two demos for you guys at the end. It's a credit card customer clustering. So I gave you guys clustering demos and classification demos and regression demos. And I'm going to give you a clustering demo today. And also prompt engineering to put the final touches on everything. So today we'll be talking about ethical considerations of AI in science. As you guys know, everything, is bound and controlled by ethics and morals, right? And AI is not exempt from that because, having this, great power like AI requires that, it's bound by certain ethics and morals that people have to abide by, right? It's not just open like this, where you can use it for whatever purpose, There's ethical concerns out there and, in all types of fields concerning AI. Alrighty, so Theodore Roosevelt once said, to educate a man in mind and not in morals is to educate a menace to society, right? So educating a man in his mind and intellectually is not, does not go well without educating them in morals, because when you educate them in mind and they have bad intentions, bad outlooks, you would tend to say it would be also better to educate people on morals, right? Same thing goes for AI. So having this mind and great capacity and power without certain ethics governing it is not a good thing at all. So key points here, talked about the quote from Roosevelt, emphasizing the importance of moral education, right? Importance of considering ethics when relying on AI-enabled technologies. Daily decisions guided by ethical principles, right? Including how and why we access AI. Recent examples of potential national risk, strikes related to AI and robotics and job displacement. Need to consider ethical impacts when trusting AI to perform tasks. And also potential risks involved in AI and the importance of prevention of these risks. So to elaborate further on this, let's say, the quote highlights the danger of educating without moral considerations, right? Just talked about that. Drawing a parallel to the potential risks of using AI without ethical considerations, right? You always have to have these ethical considerations. Ethical principles should guide our use of AI technology as they do with other aspects of our lives, right? The recent threat of national strike demonstrates real-world ethical concerns about AI's impact on employment and economy. And we'll talk about this further in the upcoming slide. Balancing efficiency gains from AI with potential job losses. Talked a little bit about that last week. Is a key ethical consideration. Ethical considerations of AI use extend beyond just technological capabilities to social impacts, right? So the potential and benefits of artificial intelligence are huge, so are the dangers, said Dave Waters. And here we can see ethical artificial intelligence means you have to be responsible, equitable, traceable, governable, and it has to be most of all reliable. Okay? All right, next slide. Ethics one-on-one. Talk about basics of digital age application, potential impacts of AI. Mark, Mark Dermus, CEO, said, the more artificial intelligence enters our lives, the more essential ethics and philosophy become, right? Because when we have this power in your hand, like you basically have every PhD in the world in your pocket, right? ChatGPT, you can ask it anything, puts it to you organized, wonderful. All you have to do is read it, understand it, and comprehend it, right? And also, in this slide, we're talking about some key points. The definition of ethics as systems of moral principles, importance of ethics in guiding technology use, including AI itself. Ethical questions involve rights, responsibilities, and determining right and wrong. Sources of ethical concepts, we'll talk about religion, philosophy, and culture. These are sources of ethical concepts. Example of Immanuel Kant's categorical imperative. Application of ethics in the digital age, particularly regarding data mining and privacy, which is a big issue, privacy. Challenges for young people and their digital footprint. Importance of considering AI's role in digital data manipulation. An elaboration here. Ethics deserves its own course due to its fundamental importance in decision making. So I can make a whole course just on ethics, right? Which I can't talk about all of them in this short lecture, right? Kant's categorical imperative provides a framework for ethical decision making and applicable to AI use. The digital age presents new ethical challenges, which we are in right now, the digital age, right? The past age was what, the atomic age, I think, when the atomic age was happening. Now we're in the digital age, right? It's a new epoch in the history of mankind, called digital age, particularly in data collection and use, right? Young people may not fully understand the value and potential consequences of sharing personal data online, which comes in here, the privacy part, right? Which is a very big ethical concern when it comes to AI, privacy. AI's role in processing vast amounts of digital data raises new ethical concerns, right? The ability to process these vast amounts of data, raises new ethical concerns and will continue as it advances in the future. Laws often lag behind technological advancements, talking here about the legal part, making ethical considerations even more crucial, right? So the more advanced AI is going to become and its abilities, we're going to have more ethical considerations and laws into place. Showing here the part of ethical AI itself. Principles are fairness, transparency, accountability, preventing harm, of course, and building trust, and of course, privacy, which we are talking about right now, which is a big concern. We'll watch this video on ethical AI, and we'll get a little bit of an idea here. This video. So you guys saw like how it's a big deal how ethical AI is, evolving because AI is becoming inevitable, right? It's going to be inevitable. It's going to be in every home. It's going to be in every business. It's going to be in every like whatever in the world. And having these ethical concerns about it is a topic of discussion these days, right? All right. So one of the biggest parts of ethical concerns in AI and fields would be medicine. We talked a little bit about that, but we'll discuss a little further today. Talking about misunderstanding the problem in medicine and also accountability and medical malpractice, right? Which AI is going to get involved a lot in medicine, so it's definitely worth mentioning. Key points here are AI's proven reliability in medical applications, particularly in diagnostics imaging. Importance of understanding the roles of experts in technology in medicine. Comparison of AI capabilities versus human skills, right, in medical practice. Talked a little bit about that also in the past lectures. Examples of Sully, movie demonstrating the importance of human judgment. Primary concern would be patient welfare in diagnosis and treatment. Secondary concern would be medical malpractice and liability issues. Challenges of AI transparency and accuracy in medical applications. Potential legal implications of relying on AI for medical decisions. Elaboration here. AI has shown superior capabilities in certain diagnostic tasks, right? Such as cancer detection in X-rays. We saw how human doctors and radiologists, they missed a lot of the cancer cells, cancer nodules, but AI detected that stuff very accurately, right? Even it was like not seen to the naked eye, right? So it has proven superior to humans in that particular part in medicine. There's a risk of misunderstanding AI's role as a tool rather than a replacement for medical professionals. Human skills like reasoning, judgment, and problem solving remain crucial in medical practices. So we still need that human part in there, right? Can't rely fully on AI there. The Sully example illustrates how human expertise and technology can work together effectively. That's like a movie. You guys can check it out later if you want to. Transparency issues with the AI black box systems pose challenges for medical professionals and potential legal issues. The need for explainable AI, which we talked about a little bit in the video, in medicine to address malpractice and concerns and maintain trust. So as we can see, AI is, taking over the medical field in many ways. So, we always have, here, you have the scientists, the vendors, the lawyers and regulators, ethicists, and AI is, in the middle of all of this, the doctor and the engineer, software developers, AI is taking over everything. So governing the data and, improving how it works in these fields, especially the medical field, which is a very sensitive field, is also a huge topic of discussion. Just like the privacy part, which we're going to talk about in the medical field right now. So continued here, AI ethical concerns in medicine, continued. We're going to talk about availability versus quality gaps and human biases in data. Key points here, talking about the potential for AI to replace doctors in certain scenarios. Rise of telemedicine, which I talked to you about, guys, which is medicine from long distance, telemedicine, and remote doctors. AI's potential to fill healthcare gaps for underserved populations. Concerns about patient-provided data and symptom reporting. Importance of clinical expertise in patient interaction and diagnosis. Federal regulations on patient data, High-Tech Act, and the HIPAA, which we'll talk about a little bit. If you guys worked in the medical field at all, you'll hear about the HIPAA regulations for patient privacy. Risks of data breaches and unauthorized sharing. Human bias and AI model training for medical applications. Elaborating here. AI could potentially provide basic medical care, talking here basic medical care, for those unable to access or afford traditional healthcare, which is going to a doctor, right away. We're talking about medicine from a distance, right? Remote medicine. Telemedicine's growing popularity highlights the potential for AI to further bridge healthcare gaps, because there's not enough doctors in the U.S., right? Doctors are in really high demand, and this could be of a lot of help, and taking off a little load and burden off the doctors, right? Because we don't have enough doctors. Self-diagnosis trends online indicate a need for more accurate AI-assisted diagnostic tools, which I'm pretty sure they're working on right now and developing. There's AI companies that specialize in the medical field only, right? Concerns about the quality and accuracy of patient-provided data for AI diagnosis. The importance of human clinicians in detecting subtle cues and nonverbal information, which AI might not, detect, because AI doesn't have feelings, right? It's a machine. It doesn't have feelings. It doesn't empathize. It doesn't, do any of that stuff. So the human part is still critical there, right? Data privacy and security concerns with AI collecting medical information. Also, the challenge of eliminating human bias, which we talked about. The data can be biased sometimes towards different certain groups or populations in AI medical models, which the model has been trained on, especially given the prevalence of second opinions in medicine, right? Because one doctor might diagnose a disease in a certain way and characterize the symptoms in a certain way that another doctor might do it in his own way, So there's this second opinion thing in medicine, right? All right. Also here, that some of the population mixes and biases come through also the male part, it gets trained on more male data than female data. And that's, it kind of is true in the medical field, right? So it shows here how, it's segmented differently. And so there's more male data than female data in there, and there's certain races or type groups of people that, the model has been trained on more than others, right? So that's a consideration that, AI engineers and machine learning engineers go back and fix the algorithms, and we talked a little bit about that in the video, right? All right, AI ethical concerns medicine. This is the last slide here talking about the medical part, which we're gonna talk about HIPAA a little bit and informed consent from patients, right? Key points here. Definition and importance of informed consent in healthcare. Informed consent, that the patient needs to know that you will use their data in a certain way, called informed consent. Challenges of informed consent in AI-enabled medicine. Debates on physician knowledge requirements for AI-assisted procedures, like operations and procedures. HIPAA, which stands for Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, and Patient Data Protection. It's the agency that protects patients' data in the medical field, right? In pharmacies and hospitals and clinics. AI's potential to enhance data privacy through anonymization, making it anonymous. Questions of responsibility and accountability for AI-managed patient data. Challenges in applying HIPAA standards to AI systems. So applying these HIPAA standards to AI systems. The elaboration here. Informed consent is crucial for preventing malpractice and ensuring the patient's autonomy, right? You need to let the patient know how his data is going to be used, which is a core part of the HIPAA regulations. AI complicates the informed consent process due to the complexity and potential opacity of AI systems. It makes this process a little complicated. Debates exist on how much physicians need to understand about AI, like how much a physician needs to know in the AI sector, like how much AI knowledge a physician needs to have to properly inform patients. Going straight in the future, it's going to be inevitable that everyone needs to know AI, right? HIPAA provides a framework for protecting patients' data, but its application to AI systems is not straightforward, right? AI can potentially enhance data privacy, which is a big concern we talked about, through advanced anonymization techniques, like, some cybersecurity techniques, and anonymize it, encrypt it, make it encrypted, where it has to be deciphered, put it in ciphertext. So it becomes a little bit anonymous, right? Questions arise about who is ultimately responsible for HIPAA compliance when AI is involved in data management, right? The minimum necessary rule and other HIPAA standards may need to be reevaluated in the context of AI use in healthcare, right? Because like we've seen, AI can go through these laws and regulations and search through it very quickly and give you answers. And, like I said, it's like having multiple PhDs in your pocket, right? We'll take a little bit about here. Strategies. So here we're going to take, does informed consent alone mitigate responsibility, considering patients' harm related to artificial intelligence, right? Because AI can, do its thing and consent something while it's not, consented or something, if the algorithms are not correct or built wrong. Strategies for HIPAA compliant AI use, secure data storage and transmission. We can encrypt the data while it's at rest, not being in transit through the internet, right? And ensure the AI language model is hosted on a secure, compliant infrastructure. So ensure the model is secure and encrypted. De-identification, when working with physicians, de-identify or anonymize data to minimize risk of breaches for hackers and all kinds of malpractice on the internet. Access control and auditing, ensure that only authorized personnel can interact with AI language model. Regularly audit the system to monitor compliance. So keeping it out of the reach of unauthorized people, the AI model. Data sharing and consent, ensuring that the use of AI language models aligns with data sharing agreements and patient's consent. So always the patient has to consent to how their data is being used. And that's what HIPAA stands for. Keeping patients' data private and using their data only the way they consent to it. Minimizing bias, be aware of potential biases and minimize their impact on the AI model's output to ensure fair and unbiased results, which we talked about this bias issue a lot, right? There's a video here on the medical part. So this summarizes ethical concerns of AI in the medical field, which is a big topic also. So going forward, take this in a little. Okay, AI ethical concerns, robots, AI replacement of workers and jobs. The fear of automation, historical advancement, humans are winning. AI won't replace humans, but humans with AI will replace humans without AI. Harvard Business Review said that. So, key points here. Longstanding fears about robots and automation replacing human workers. AI experts' consensus that AI will enhance rather than replace human capabilities. Goldman Sachs report on potential job displacement and economic growth due to AI. Historical perspective on technological advancements and their overall positive impact. The collaborative nature of AI and robotics requiring human guidance. Recent New York Times article highlighting human success in the job market. Example of radiologists, which we talked about a little bit, adapting to and benefiting from AI advancements. Collaboration here. There's fears about AI replacing workers and often based on speculation, right? It's based on speculation more than expert understanding. While some jobs may be automated, right, without any human intervention, AI is more likely to augment human capabilities in most cases, right? So enhance human capabilities, not replace them. Historical examples show that technological advancements typically lead to improved quality of life, right? From the technological advancements we had in the past, and new job opportunities. So there might be newer job opportunities, you know, instead of the jobs that were existing before, AI can open new job opportunities and like more and more job titles, which are based around AI, right? The collaborative nature of AI and robotics means that human guidance and expertise remain crucial in this point. Recent job market trends show that humans are adapting and thriving along AI advancements. So it's actually enhancing humans' abilities while humans adapt and thrive alongside these advancements. The example of the radiologist then demonstrates how professionals can adapt to and benefit from AI integration in their field. So the radiologist, instead of firing the radiologist, teaching him, you know, how to upskill and learn more AI skills, right, will make a much better radiologist, right? The key to success in an AI-enhanced job market, which is the job market of the future, is learning how to work alongside and leverage AI technologies, right? So it's also a big topic. A lot of people don't want to be replaced by robots, right? You go tell someone like a robot's gonna take your job, they might tell you, like, no one's taking my job, right? No freaking robot's gonna take my job, right? And it might be like, you know, it's crazy because it's a topic of discussion, right? No one wants a machine taking their job, right? A machine that gets, you know, plugged in and charged from the wall, like, you know, and then he's gonna say, yo, it's gonna take my job. Well, it's also a concern, right? But it kind of forces people to upskill, right? So it forces people to upskill somehow in the market. So like everyone starts learning stuff, taking courses online, you know, educating themselves on it. So it kind of has its ups and downs. All right. AI ethical concerns, AI model impacts, the impacts of AI models here, right? Bias, privacy, and human judgment. All right, so key points here. Three main areas of ethical concern here are bias, privacy, and the role of human judgment, which is, you know, still important here. Human judgment is still important. Consciousness and unconscious biases in AI algorithms and training data sets. Privacy issues related to data collection use and potential misuse in AI systems. Challenges of AI transparency and data control. Risk of AI repurposing data for malicious purposes. MIT study on AI models making harsher judgments than humans. Limitations of AI in capturing nuanced human decision-making. Elaboration here. Bias in AI can stem from prejudices, right? Which are biases, basically, in algorithms or skewed training data. We've seen how skewed training data can affect the biases in an AI model's predictions or, outputs. Confirmation bias, which we talked about a little bit, can lead to AI models reinforcing existing assumptions, right? Confirmation bias, rather than providing new insights, which AI might do, right? Privacy concerns are amplified by AI's need for large amounts of data and the potential for data repurposing, the large amounts of data it needs to train, right? The intertransparency of neural networks complicates data control and correction. Not everybody knows what a neural network is, how it works, or, and not a lot of people have the ability to understand this stuff, right? AI models may make different, often harsher judgments than humans due to limitations in capturing contextual nuances. So AI can make harsher judgments because, it doesn't have feelings, it doesn't empathize, so it can make harsh judgments more than humans do. The MIT study highlights the importance of careful consideration when using AI for decision-making and sensitive areas, right? Especially in medical field and other places where, privacy is a big concern. AI models may struggle with subtle discriminant required in complex human judgments, right? So here, you see how privacy risks of AI chatbots that we use every day, right? Which, they're working on improving, of course. Excessive collection of data, data leaks, sharing confidential information, algorithmic bias caused by bad data, types of bias in artificial intelligence are also, skewed data, which we talked about, bad features, outliers, all these things we talked about before that can, cause noise in the model. Incomplete data and unrepresentative data, right? Where some populations are underrepresented in the data. All right, AI ethical concerns, the solutions here would be to fake data, AI robotics and human interactions, human in the loop concept. Also, key points: use of synthetic or fake data to address privacy and bias concerns. So synthetic and fake data are a concern also. Importance of data anonymization techniques, human-led interaction, evaluation, and decision-making as a key to ethical AI use. Concept of the cobots, which we talked about, humans and robots interacting together in the workforce, augmenting human capabilities. Importance of transparency in AI-guided technologies. The human-in-the-loop approach to managing AI systems. Ongoing debate about AI sentience and the future role of humans in AI systems. Elaboration here. Synthetic data can help train AI models, like we've seen. We might need to augment more data to train these models, while avoiding privacy issues and some biases. Anonymization techniques are crucial for protecting individual privacy in AI applications, of course. The ideal use of AI and robotics is to enhance and augment human abilities and not to replace them. Cobots and cobotics, which we talked about, demonstrate how AI can work alongside humans to improve efficiency and capabilities. Transparency in AI systems is crucial for identifying and addressing potential errors and biases. The human-in-the-loop approach ensures that human expertise guides AI decision-making. Like, it's not making its decisions on its own. Humans are involved, so it's supervised in this case. The debate about AI sentience and consciousness relates to long-term ethical considerations of AI development, which, trying to give AI a conscience and an ability to judge, right? Here, you can see the neurons here doing their magic, right? AI subsystems, human in the loop. So the human here is supervising the whole process. It's not, strictly AI by itself. No, the human is involved. All right. Why is this so small? AI ethics and scientific research. These are the last two slides here for today before we get into our demos. AI ethics and scientific research and subtopics here would be data integrity and reproducibility, authorship and credit attribution, potential for bias in scientific discoveries. So here the ethical concern is in scientific research, right? Key points to consider here are AI's role in enhancing data analysis and pattern recognition in scientific research, challenges in ensuring data integrity when using AI-powered tools, big issue, data integrity here also, issues of reproducibility in AI-assisted research, debates on authorship credit for AI-generated scientific discoveries, potential for AI to introduce or amplify biases in scientific research, importance of transparency in AI methodologies used in research these days, and also the ethical considerations in AI-human collaborative research. So the part here is research, scientific research, and the ethical concern of AI. Now, operation here, AI can significantly enhance the speed and accuracy of data analysis, which we have seen how fast I can create a chart, right, from a lot of data and take a look at the data. Ensuring data integrity becomes more complex when AI is involved in data processing and analysis. Reproducibility of AI-assisted research may be challenging due to the complexity and potential opacity of AI systems. Like I said, not everybody knows how to use these complex, the underlying, complexities of these models and this technology. Questions arise about how to attribute authorship when AI plays a significant role in scientific discoveries. So, like I said, it's the whole world's information in your pocket, basically. And you can make discoveries and your research on there and then, summarize it with AI. And it's gonna be, a credit to you. You're the one who made this. So there's a concern here. Is AI the one that made it, or is it you? No, in this case, it would be the human, because the human is the one who used the tool. It's just a tool, a reproductivity tool. So I think it's not a big deal here, right? AI may introduce new biases or amplify existing ones in scientific research. So it might amplify scientific research, potentially skewing results sometimes. Like we said, that's an ethical concern. Transparency in AI methodologies is crucial for peer review and validation of scientific findings. So transparency is very important for others to look at your work, right? When others revise your work. Ethical guidelines need to be developed for AI-human collaborative research to ensure fair credit attribution and maintain scientific integrity. As we all know, there's patents and copyrights and this and that. And right, like AI can, you can literally make a new drug, a new weapon, a new whatever on it with AI, right? And it's your invention that you made, right? And it all goes down to that when it comes to scientific research. This is the ethical concern that gets in the way. So the talk of AI and ethics is on the rise. More words. You see how from 2014 to 2018 we have we see how AI and artificial intelligence and ethics, these words are used together a lot, like especially, going into the future, it's going to be used even more. So the AI ethics framework here would be founding principles. Here, the guiding principles via technical and non-technical methods. Acknowledge tension between principles. Do our assessment, judge the ethics of an AI application through the AI governance approach. Also, realization, implement the guiding principles via tools, suggested human-based checklists, and integration, right? Evaluate and address these principles throughout the life cycle of an AI application. So we can see here, these words are used together in conjunction a lot. AI and ethics. Final slide here, final video, we'll talk about AI and the climate issue. You know, it's a big issue also. It's an ethical consideration when it comes to climate change and artificial intelligence, right? It could be a solution to climate change, and it could be not a solution. It can make it worse. There's a contradiction here, but we'll talk about it. So the ethical implications of AI in climate science and in environmental research. Subtopics here: AI and climate modeling and prediction, balancing technological solutions with environmental impact, ethical use of AI in resource management. Key points here: AI's potential to improve climate modeling and prediction accuracy, which is a good thing, right? The ethical considerations in using AI for environmental policy decisions, the environmental impact of AI technology itself, the energy consumption at data centers, which we talked about. And I'm going to show you guys a video after this talking about this. AI in optimizing resource management and conservation efforts, potential biases in AI-driven environmental research and decision-making, balancing short-term technological solutions with long-term sustainability, ethical implications of AI in predicting and mitigating natural disasters. The elaboration here: AI can enhance climate models, right? It does have that ability, right? Potentially leading to more accurate predictions and informed policy decisions when it comes to climate. There's ethical considerations in relying on AI for decisions that could have significant environmental impacts. So we don't want to rely on AI 100% when it comes to environmental impacts. The energy consumption, which is a big issue also, of AI systems themselves raises ethical questions about their environmental footprint. They consume a lot of energy. AI can optimize resource management, but there are ethical considerations in how these optimizations are implemented. Biases in AI systems, which is always the big concern, could lead to skewed environmental research results or unfair resource allocation. So resources can go to into bad allocation. Balancing the benefits of AI and environmental science with its own environmental impact is a key ethical challenge also. AI's role in predicting and mitigating natural disasters, which, you know, have been happening a lot past few months, brings ethical questions about resource allocation and prioritization. Ensuring equitable access to AI-driven environmental solutions is an important ethical consideration here. We can see how it can do. AI satellites can do marine monitoring, you know, atmosphere monitoring, land monitoring, climate change monitoring, you know, so we have satellites equipped with AI models that can do all this stuff. Look at Earth's atmosphere and everything, right? Let's take this video, last slide here. I'm going to talk about the climate change in data centers and energy consumption. crazy, right? 10 times the electricity. It's like, you guys are getting energy and heat in the middle of the earth. Like, it's crazy, right? Like, need more energy. They extend these big like metal rods to like miles and miles down and deep in earth. And talk like 12,000 feet down in the earth where it's like 400 Fahrenheit. Take this heat energy and make it electrical energy, right? And that's one of the concerns when it comes to energy, right? And the climate change. So this ends our lecture part. Let me introduce you guys to these two demos and we'll end the night here. And yes, yes, so wait. Alrighty, guys. So this here, I'll show you guys. This is a credit card data set with all the customer stuff, like time they pays, cash advances, this and that, all that good stuff from a credit card data set. I'm going to show you how we make 4 clustering algorithms, and then we choose the best one based on a certain score, right? So first, I'm going to download the data set from Kaggle, which is a website where people make machine learning competitions, right? So I brought in the data set. So we'll see the first 5 rows here. Let's take a look. Okay, first 5 rows have customer ID, their balance frequency, purchases, how many purchases, one-off purchases, installments, cash advance, purchase frequency. All these are input features. And there's no target column here because we're trying to cluster them, right? This is unsupervised, so it's not labeled data. And tenure is how long they stayed with the company, 12 years, full payments, minimum payments made. A lot of information here. So we take a look at it. First, we're going to do some data processing, drop the customer ID column, right? Get rid of the nulls, get rid of all the bad data, right? So we run this. So I got rid of the customer ID because it's not going to be used in the clustering in any useful way, right? Showed the sum, did our standard scalar, did all our data processing. Now, first algorithm I'm going to use is the k-means clustering. We talked a little bit about that. So this is the first clustering algorithm I'm going to try out and see how good it does. Right, k-means. This produces something called the elbow curve, which lets me know how many clusters to choose. At the elbow here, look at the elbow. So we know it's like 4 clusters here. This is the best elbow I have. It can be 5 also. You know, these are 2 elbow points. So this elbow method lets us know how many clusters to add, right? So here I'm going to choose 4. Okay. Here I build the k-means, optimal k, 4, right? I chose 4 clusters. And we're going to take a look at this, how well it did. So there's an extra cluster column here, and it shows how each person or each customer is put in his cluster. This guy's got put in cluster 3, 0, 2. So we have 4 clusters, 0, 1, 2, 3, right? So to check for we saw how in classification and regression we have metrics to evaluate, like the precision, the recall, the mean square, all these things. Here it's called Silhouette score, and it's between -1 and 1, right? The higher it is, the better. So this gave us a 16.16. It's not that good, but you know, we're gonna take a look at the other clustering methods, how much of a Silhouette score it's gonna give us. Then choose the best algorithm, right? I'm going to graph this clustering k-means and see. It gave me 4 clusters here in red, purple, blue, and green. With a, the Silhouette score, it shows us how far these individual parts have gone. So, it didn't cluster it that well. So we'll take a look at, other algorithms we can put in use. I'll try a DB scan clustering instead, right? We're going to take a look at this. This might give us a lot of clusters. So this is a DB scan. The DB scan gave me, let's see here, so we graph it. Calculate its Silhouette score first and compare it to the k-means. So it gave us a -4 Silhouette score, which is awful. The k-means gave us a 16, which is much better. But we're gonna also graph it to see how many clusters it made. Or you can see this one is awful, did an awful job, right? Gave us 37 clusters and, they're all packed on each other and a -4 silhouette score. So this is a bad one, right? I'm not going to use this one, definitely. Two more methods at the end here. We're going to use agglomerative clustering and Gaussian mixture, which I talked to you guys a little bit about in the beginning lectures when we were discussing algorithms. So we'll try these two and see if they get any better silhouette scores. On this cell. And I have all these demos for you guys up there, so you can play around with them, educate yourself from them, study them. Believe me, they're pretty good for you guys. That's why I put it up there for you guys. So this gave us a 15 for the agglomerative, which the k-means is still higher. Let's see the Gaussian mixture. What it gives us in terms of silhouette. It's from -1 to 1, the silhouette split. So agglomerative gave us 15. This gave us a 0.7, which is not that good. We'll graph them also to see how they all compare. All right, so the agglomerative at 15 looks pretty decent, but still we have these points, going very far from the centroid, right? Shows how -1 in silhouette, it means it's very outside of the centroid. It's way further than its centroid, right? A 0 means it's, it's in another one. When it's closer to 0, it means the red point might be in the blue cluster. And when the silhouette is 1, it means it's inside its cluster, which is, the middle of its cluster, which is a good thing, right? So comparing all 4 clustering algorithms, I can tell that the k-means did best here at a 16 silhouette score, which, clustered them in 4 clusters, which we chose based on the elbow method here. The elbow told us it chose 4, right? And, you guys can see, like, we choose the highest silhouette score in this case. We trained 4 different, with 4 different algorithms, which is a good thing, right? That's what machine learning engineers usually do. Like, they train different algorithms for regression, classification, or clustering, and then they choose the one that did the best, right? So I showed you guys here 4 algorithms within using this credit card data set, which is not labeled, right? So it has to do the clustering for us. See, this one did very awful. The DB scan, like, it made multiple little ones, and then the first cluster takes everything, right? Very far, a -4 silhouette means like everything is not in place. Like all the other 36 clusters are not in their centroids. They're in the red centroid, which, shows a very bad silhouette score here. The last 2, the agglomerative and the DB and the Gaussian mixture, decent, but still not as good as the k-means one. So this kind of shows you guys how clustering works, right? I showed you regression, classification. This is clustering, right? And all these models are up there for you guys, the notebooks as they are. I built them up for you, and you guys can go around, change, play around with them, shift and enter to change whatever in the models, And it's a good reference for you guys up there to, if you guys decide in the future to get into this field, it would be a really good reference for you. And I would say get into this anyways, because it's going to help you in any field, whatever you guys choose to get into, right? Like I said, AI is getting into everything, and this can give you guys a really good edge in college or in work or whatever it is. Last demo here in our last 10 minutes. I'm going to show you guys something called prompt engineering, which is how to engineer a good prompt for the chatbot, right? This is actually a whole field of study, prompt engineering, right? And it's the future of basically everything when it comes to using this technology, especially chatbots, right? It teaches you how to make a good prompt. And these are just like the 9 basic techniques. I'm gonna go through them pretty quick, right? And this is gonna be the pinnacle of what I gotta teach you guys in this whole course, and it ends my journey with you guys here. So prompt engineering techniques, a teaching demo. First technique would be instruction prompting. The definition of it is instruction prompting is the simplest form of prompt engineering, where you directly ask the model to perform a task by giving it explicit instructions, like you go explicit. It's also called a naive prompt. Some call it a naive prompt. Example here, telling the chatbot to translate the following sentence from English to French. I love machine learning. J'aime l'apprentissage automatique. I love machine learning. Translated it. Another example for instruction prompting would be summarize the following paragraph in one sentence. Artificial intelligence is rapidly evolving and impacting various industries from healthcare to finance. The output would be AI is rapidly transforming industries like healthcare and finance. So straightforward prompt, basically, what it's called, instruction prompting. Second technique I would like to show you guys is called few-shot prompting. In few-shot prompting, you give the model a few examples of a task so you can learn from them before generating the output. So first prompt I used was translate the following. English, I love programming. Also, you're telling him, you give it, you're teaching it, basically, right? And you give it the same sentence in France. So you give it another 2 sentences in French, English and French, and then you're giving it a context, basically. I want this last one also translated to French. That's the example here. The output here would be J'aime voyager, which like see, I love programming, j'adore programmer. I enjoy reading books. J'aime lire de livres. I like traveling. It's gonna say J'aime voyager, so it's completing for you, basically. Few-shot prompting. Another prompt would be classify the following sentence as positive, negative, or neutral. I trained a sentiment analyzer for you guys. The movie was fantastic, positive. I didn't like the food, negative. It was okay, neutral. So it gives it another sentence. The weather is great, positive, right? Few-shot prompting. Now, 3 would be zero-shot prompting. Zero-shot prompting asks the model to perform a task without providing any examples. It relies solely on the model's pre-existing knowledge, right? This is called zero-shot. An example would be, summarize the following text. Neural networks are a type of machine learning model inspired by the human brain. Output would be, neural networks are machine learning models based on the brain, right? Another prompt, what is the capital of Japan? Tokyo, right? So zero-shot, right? Straightforward. Now, chain of thought prompting, which you use your chain of thought into putting in a prompt, a good prompt. This technique encourages the model to reason through a problem step by step before arriving to an answer. It's particularly useful for solving complex problems. A prompt would be like, if a train travels 60 miles per hour, it needs to cover 120 miles, how long will it take? It's going to give you the output, right? You're asking it stuff step by your thought process, basically. You're putting it all down in the prompt. Same thing, like, you have 3 apples and your friend gives you 2 more. How many apples do you have in total? Think step by step, right? That is for chain of thought. Role prompting. Role prompting involves asking the model to act as a specific persona. Like you're telling the model, you're a doctor today, you're an engineer today. I'm going to ask you some questions, right? That's another technique used. Prompt here would be an example. You're a medical doctor. Explain what diabetes is in simple terms. So it's going to talk to you as if it's a doctor, right? It's making see, I'm telling you here, you're a data scientist. Describe the difference between supervised and unsupervised learning. Like here, it's going to give you a good prompt output, right? Delimiters for precision. Using delimiters such as quotation marks and brackets and everything it gives it, you know, gives it more precision. It tells it to be more precise about a certain thing. So, you know, I'm putting it here between quotation marks. So telling it to be more serious about it, basically, you know. The ChatGPT knows now how to be more serious about it. So you get a model output like this. Another prompt would be like summarize the following text between, you know, see, I put it between these square brackets to emphasize, and then I put it inside quotation to emphasize its importance, basically. So using delimiters to have higher precision. Second would be output format prompting. This involves asking the model to structure its output in a specific format, like list, table, code blocks. List 3 pros of using renewable energy in bullet points, right? So you're telling it here to put stuff in an organized manner. Another prompt would be like, you know, write a Python function to add 2 numbers, like the one I gave you guys before, right? So it's writing up it's writing the Python code for you, right? 8 would be contextual prompting. In contextual prompting, you provide relevant background information in the prompt to help the model understand and generate better responses. So you're giving the model as much context as you can, and also using delimiters like here, precision, like we said. Like, you know, John is a data scientist working on a machine learning model to predict house prices. He has used various features like size, location, age. What advice can you give him to improve his model? It's going to give you stuff based on the context. Another example prompt here would be, you're reading a novel where your protagonist is a detective. Describe how they solve the mystery as that. Last one would be multi-step prompting. This technique involves breaking down complex instructions into smaller steps to guide the model through a systematic process. Example would be this prompt. Step 1, I tell it, provide 3 topics for an AI researcher paper. Step 2, I tell it, summarize each topic in 1 sentence. I'm going to give an output like this. Another example of prompting here would be step 1, list 3 key benefits of using solar energy, explain each benefit in detail. Stuff like that, right? So that's the art of writing a good prompt, guys, right? It's going to benefit you guys greatly in, you know, in college, the rest of your high school and your professional careers to learn more about prompt engineering. But I gave you guys here the basics, basically, you know, and this is, you know, this is the fruit of everything, basically. I'm giving you the fruit of my, you know, educational endeavors, which comes down to this prompt engineering. And if you guys read about it online, it's going to tell you that everything in the future is going to be based on people that can write good prompts, basically, when it comes to that. Because people who just write whatever to these things, no. You guys know how these things work now in the background. You guys would have a better ability to write better prompts because you guys kind of have this good foundation now, right? From taking this course. So you guys would have more intuition and imagination when you write these prompts. You know what's going on under there, you know, it will be really good for you guys. So this ends our lecture for tonight, guys. I left everything up there for you, all the demos I made. You know, there's about 9 demos for the machine learning models and the deep learning models and this. And don't forget to finish your projects by Thursday. So Jessica will be here on Thursday. I'll be here, and you know, I'll be able to say, you know, goodbye to all of you, and you know, have a good night, guys. Thank you. Thank you.